Hi everyone, this is Amanda of amandaellis.co.uk, Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours, and YouTube Amanda Ellis. Firstly, before I forget to say it, because I always forget to say it on my videos, I just want to thank you all very, very much for supporting me and for joining me this year, 2017. I've really just seen this channel grow beyond my wildest expectations, and I know it's going to carry on doing so. And it really is the likes of people like you that watch me and support me that really do give me the ability and the strength to carry on and to deliver the messages that I need to from Spirit. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you, and I also appreciate all of the comments that come month in, month out. I don't always have time to respond to them, but I do read them and I do take in the energy of them, so thank you. Okay, what I want to do in this video is talk about something which Metatron is calling resetting our expectations of Christmas. That sounds a bit of a mouthful. I might try and come up with a snappier title. But I woke up a few days ago. It's the 18th of December when I make this, and like many of you, was feeling a little bit stressed, lots of things to do. All of my household have been ill recently, come down with colds and flus, and in fact that's why my voice is sounding a bit deeper than normal, because I'm fighting it off with lemon and honey, and at the moment I'm winning the battle, but it's trying to get me as well. So everyone's been ill, and yeah, then I came downstairs and my husband has got a problem with his foot which keeps playing up. So basically he's got his foot up, he can't do anything for probably about another week or so. And there was part of me just thought, great, you know, if I'm honest, great, okay, we've got Christmas coming up. It's, you know, went into victim mode a little bit. It's all down to me again. And there might be truth to that, to be perfectly honest, but anyway, I don't like playing the victim. So, you know, I shook myself out of that quite quickly. But Metatron was talking about resetting expectations for Christmas. Why do we place such a high expectation on one day? Because really what we do is we set ourselves up to fall. I've always loved the build up to Christmas, you know, I love everything about it. I love all the lights. I've actually just borrowed this tree from my daughter's bedroom. I love all of it, you know. I love the build up, but the day itself can often be a bit of a letdown, you know. And I was thinking about, well, why is that? And I know it's not just me. And I think sometimes it's very much to do with the fact that we feel under pressure to be happy, you know. It's not so much that we feel under pressure for everything to be perfect, although that is part of it. You know, the magazines and TV feed us this image of the perfect Christmas with, you know, the perfect living room, the perfect decorations, the perfect presents wrapped underneath the tree, everybody happy, everybody well. And the truth is, you know, if we look at this year, 2017, it's been a very difficult year for a lot of you. And I know a lot of you have faced loss, a lot of people have passed over, and that's a very painful experience, and it's something that comes to the fore, the pain comes to the fore again at this time of year, the feeling of loss. There are lots of you in relationships which are not working, which are dysfunctional. And again, what Metatron is showing me is sort of to piece the broken bits back together to make it shiny and new for one day isn't going to happen. So what you have to do actually is try to appreciate the beauty and the good things about what is in front of you. It's the thing about perfection and imperfection. And it's about resetting our standards. And there are many other examples. Ill health is another one. You know, many of you have battled ill health, maybe unwell over Christmas. There are so many different things that can, some of you are alone as well, Metatron is saying to me, and don't have people around you. But yet we're all supposed to be happy and bubbly on this one day. And it is setting ourselves up to fail. So what he's asking us to do is to go into the holiday season with a different mindset, with a more realistic mindset, not to spoil the enjoyment, but actually to try to help you to have the best Christmas that is possible. And it's a bit like, the analogy he's saying to me, it's a bit like when a film comes out, okay? And you hear a lot of hype around this film, and you're really, really wanting to go and see it because everyone is telling you how fantastic it is. And then you go, and actually you're really disappointed because it hasn't actually lived up to the hype. Versus almost like a film that you discover for yourself, that nobody has talked about, that there isn't any hype around, but actually you sort of settle into your seats, you get your popcorn, and you actually really enjoy it. Okay, so it's about letting go of the hype, letting go of the spin, and just sailing in to the holiday period, wherever you are in the world, whoever you are with, whatever state your life is at this time, even if it is imperfect, because for many of us it is, but being able to get the most enjoyment out of what is a very important time, not just because it's an opportunity for rest and relaxation, unless you're in the retail sector, but for most it's a time of rest and relaxation and joy, hopefully, but it's also to do with being able to receive these beautiful vibrational frequencies and light that comes into our planet at this time of year, okay? And I am also hearing so strongly over the last 48 hours in particular that this Christmas, it's about letting go of all of the external paraphernalia and very much going into our heart. You know, the last video that I made, the meditation that came through quite unexpectedly at the end with the chambers of the heart, which we were filling with different ascended master energies, I guess that's a precursor to what I'm saying now, which is it's so important this Christmas to go into your heart space. And what Metatron is saying is that the true meaning of Christmas is actually within you. It's not external. It's not in the beautiful present that you get given, that you unwrap, and you might like it, but it's not quite what you wanted, you know? We've all had that experience, haven't we? It's not in the forced situation of sitting around a table and trying to feel jolly when inside you might not be feeling that, you know? I've got a friend, and I'm sure she'll be watching this, who is experiencing a Christmas without her daughter for the first time. And she said to me, in many ways, maybe you prompted this, because it's like they're going to have a different type of Christmas day, you know? They're going to have different type of food. They're going to have a different type of experience. And I think that's what's being asked of us, because you can't, if you've lost somebody, you can't replicate the Christmas that you used to have with that person at the table. Whether that's a parent, whether that's a child, whether it's a friend, whether it's a partner. What you have to do is you have to come back, you reset, and then you enjoy that resetted experience, if that makes sense, okay? I felt a few weeks ago that I wanted to do something really different on Christmas Day. Now, whether I do this or not is up for debate, to be perfectly honest, because I'm a great one for sometimes saying I'm going to do something and then sometimes I don't, I have to be honest. But in the back of my mind, I've got this real desire to go and swim in the sea on Christmas Day. Now, some of you are watching me in the southern hemisphere where the sea is really beautiful and blue and warm. And I tell you what, the sea here in Bournemouth is freezing cold and it's grey this time of year. It can look nice on a day like today where the sun is shining, but usually it's freezing cold. So to get into that sea on Christmas Day, which a lot of people do, is actually a bit of a challenge, but I'm wanting to do it for myself just to break the stagnation of what Christmas is supposed to be. You know, that at 10 o'clock we do this, at 12 o'clock you do that, at 2 o'clock this happens, then you all go to sleep, then you have a walk. I feel like I'm done with all that, you know? So try to do something that is different this year. I'm also, conversely, being pulled back to wanting to actually go to a church on Christmas Eve maybe. Again, not because I'm really tied into the whole message that necessarily comes from the service, although I actually think that the story of the birth of Christ is beautiful. But I love the scent, the aroma. I love the incense. I love the music. I love the candles. I love the communion of people coming together who are happy, because by nature of Christmas Eve, it is a happy time, usually. I feel I want that this year, and I haven't wanted that in many, many, many years. So it just feels as though this Christmas, think about what you can do. It doesn't have to be a big thing, where you can make it a little bit different. You can reset it to a degree, okay? What it shouldn't be, though, is about just casting away all the best bits of it. I mention my mum a lot, don't I, on my videos, just because she's a great teacher for me in a lot of ways. Not necessarily how to do things well, but she sometimes shows me the opposite. But anyway, this Christmas, like most Christmases, she sort of said, oh, well, I can't be bothered to put up a tree, and I don't feel festive, and so she's sort of sitting there with no decorations. So I've actually gone out and bought her. It's not quite as fancy as this, but it is a little tree that's all lit up. It's ready-made, basically. And I'm just going to give it to her today, and she is going to have it up, whether she likes it or not, because it's important, you know, it's important to just do something. Remember as well that ceremony and ritual is very, very important in life, okay? And sometimes by putting up the decorations, by putting up lights, by sending a few cards or whatever it is you want to do, that's what you're doing. You're observing a ritual, you're observing a ceremony, which has got meaning and depth behind it. But we shouldn't get so locked into it that we can't also be spontaneous and do something new within it, okay? So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull a few cards for you. Before I do that, I have to show you this beautiful card that's been sent to me. Thank you so much. Some of you have sent me some gifts and cards, and this one is from Dee and Johnny. Look at this card. I mean, how beautiful is that? That is handmade as well. You see that? They just stuck all these beautiful pictures on, and it even goes into the inside. I mean, that's like a work of art, actually, isn't it? But more than anything, the love that has gone into that is just so beautiful to receive. And it is a time for us to both give and receive. Most of you watching this are probably like me, givers by nature, because I think a lot of spiritual people are. But we also need to learn how to receive as well. And that isn't in necessarily the gifts. It's just to do also with, as I say, receiving the frequencies, receiving the downloads of light, receiving the love that is actually out there for you, okay? Also receiving the help, Metatron is saying as well, okay? There's a famous, I can't remember her name now, she's an Indian actress in the UK, Meena something or other. Sorry, I can't remember her name. But anyway, I saw her on the TV interview the other day, and she's doing a run in the West End, and she's in Annie, that's right. I think she's one of the, I don't know what part she plays. Anyway, she's in Annie on the West End, and in the run up to Christmas, they have something like 2 performances a day, and she only gets Christmas Day off. And she was saying, or the presenter said to us, so what are you doing on Christmas Day? You know, are you just doing nothing because it's your one day off, you know, in months of live performances? And she said, oh no, you know, we will be celebrating it. She said, but everybody coming is going to be bringing food. You know, she actually wasn't doing anything. She is allowing herself to receive the abundance, the kindness, the generosity, and the love of her family members, rather than being the martyr who has one day off and is also trying to do everything on that one day for everybody else. Does that resonate? I think it does. Resonated with me. I thought, yeah, you know, I can see where you're coming from there. Right, let's pull 3 cards. I'm going to pull 3 cards from this deck, which are the Grace cards by Cheryl Richardson. And they just have a nice sort of festive, not a festive feel. Well, they have all got angels on, but what do I mean by a festive feel? Just not important. I must just say before I pull these cards, at any moment there's going to be a huge noise, which is my dog is going to come in from her walk, and she's going to discover that there's my daughter's having a maths lesson downstairs with a male teacher, and Bella doesn't like it when she comes in and someone's in the house she doesn't know. So if you suddenly hear loads of barking, that is what is going to be going on. Again, it doesn't matter, it's imperfect. If you hear my dog barking on the video, it's all right, some of you might like it. Right, let's have 3 cards from here. Number 1, mirror. Number 2, self. Number 3, trust. Mirror, that's a really good card this Christmas time. So what this is about, what Spirit are trying to say to us with this card, is that what you need to now you need to imagine is you're around the Christmas table, okay, with all the aunts and the uncles and the grandparents and the parents and the daughters and the cousins or whoever it is, okay? And there is somebody there within your family circle, within your group of acquaintanceships, friendships, family, who really, really press your buttons. I think we can probably all think of somebody in our family that does that. It could actually, Metatron is also saying it could be, when he's saying a ghost, he's talking about a ghost of Christmas past. Sometimes there can be a ghost of Christmas past sitting at the table. You know, it can be I don't know, the obvious one is it could be a parent who maybe treated you particularly badly, you know, and Christmas was a difficult time for you, and it brings up memories of that. A lot of people also pass over at Christmas time and around New Year, and again it can bring up memories of that. So it's like there's a ghost at the table, you know, which can be difficult. That's actually a different message though. The mirror one is, well no, actually it's not, he's saying, I guess not. Because actually the parent who might have passed, who you still feel is hovering around you trying to have a good Christmas, is at lower self level, you know, pressing our buttons, because it's like, oh, you know, when am I going to be able to just let that go? You know, that memory, when can I let it go and just get on with my life? Because there's this perception out there that when people pass over, that if they've hurt us in life, if they've betrayed us, if they've wounded us in some way, that when they die, it's all gone. It's, you know, and to a degree that happens, but if you've really been hurt, until you've really healed it, it stays with you and it comes up again, you know? So there's an aspect going on with that, but the mirroring thing here in particular is the people around the table or the people that you might meet. It could be somebody, you know, at a party who really press your buttons, you know? It's like, I can't stand it, you know? And this Christmas, you're being asked to look at that, you know? You're being asked to look at that. Why do they press your buttons? What is it about them and their behaviour that irritates you so? And then we're into the territory of, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. The zero limits energy, which is whoever is pressing your buttons, whoever is triggering you, look within yourself to see a similar quality. So if you've got somebody around the table who's being a martyr and a victim, and it really irritates you, look at that part of you that can also be like that. You're not going to be a complete reflection of that person, but there will be an aspect that is there. And the truth is that we're only actually ever triggered by anybody if it's something that we haven't healed within ourselves. And we really rally against that, but it is the truth, okay? The next card that comes up is the card of self. So this is the card of self-care, okay? Here's a lady and she's wrapped in a beautiful soft towel and she's just looking after herself. And on the back of the card it says, go within. When we invest more energy in developing our spiritual lives, the outer world begins to take care of itself. Okay, so there's a message there. But this is also about just the need to nurture yourself, look after yourself, nourish yourself. It's a time of year when a lot of people eat badly or overdrink, overconsume, let all their healthy habits go. And again, increasingly this year, there's a feeling coming that I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to the excess that I've done it before, you know? Do I need the huge tin of Quality Street that I'm going to wade my way through? I don't actually do that, or I have done it in the past. But, you know, it's that type of thing. Do I need to do that? Because all I'll actually be doing is having to mop up the effects of that on my poor body that's had to absorb all of those, you know, toxins, calories, blah, blah, blah. At this point, I will just show you a crystal that I've got here, which I've been carrying on me just because, as I say, I'm fighting a bit of a bug myself. And this is pollucite, okay, pollucite. It's a pretty nondescript looking white crystal, to be honest, slightly grainy looking, but it's very good. It's a very powerful crystal to help transmute toxins. And I feel it's quite a good aid for us this Christmas time. Whilst I'm also talking about aids and self-care, I have got a couple of my sprays sitting here in front of me. Those of you that are fighting bugs, viruses, all the rest of it, or as I say, are around the table with somebody else spluttering and coughing all over you, jade, which is for the higher heart, is really good. This one is made of, the essential oils are lemon, thyme and ginger, and I love it. I really love this one. It's got real power to it. It does smell quite medicinal as well. But I'm putting this around myself at the moment, just as I say, to ward off this bug. But if I do come down with it, I will carry on using it as well, because it will lessen the time that I may be ill, although I'm not putting that into the future, because I feel I will be well, I will be healthy over Christmas. We must affirm the positive. Emerald, I've shown this to you a lot this year, but again, it's one of my go-to sprays. Emerald is for renewal and recovery, okay? And it is just a beautiful woody grounding spray that I, again, use a lot. The other one would be white, I suppose. White, which is a general clearance energy. Talking about sprays, actually, in my advent calendar, which I've been opening, you know, I got the beauty box. Well, yesterday I got this, and it's quite interesting. It's a very beautiful looking spray, I have to say. It says Queen of Hungary Mist. It's beautiful pink energy, and it smells gorgeous. But what's so interesting about it to me is that it's not alive. You know, when you buy something like this, it's infused with crystals and sacred geometry energy, and of course Archangel Metatron's energy. Something like this smells nice, but it's like I put it around myself. I thought, and then I thought, it's missing something. And it's missing the hit of what I'm used to when I spray these. Anyway, that's by the by. I have to say, the Advent calendar has been wonderful as well for me in terms of putting myself first. I've really enjoyed opening it every day and getting a little present for myself, a little gift. It's been very nourishing. Third card, trust. Trust, trust, trust. How many times do we say trust on the spiritual path? We say it sometimes till we're blue in the face, and we're going to have to keep saying it. We have to trust. It says the more that we follow our intuition, the more we'll find that the right doors open to assist us in fulfilling our life's purpose. Leo King did a video, well, to be honest, I don't watch many, but I did watch one of his the other day, and he was talking about the fact that this time is about knocking on doors, opening them, going through them, and even if it isn't immediately apparent what then you're supposed to do, or who you're supposed to meet, or where you're supposed to go, having gone through that one doorway, it then leads you to another door, or another person, or another circumstance that opens up something else, which then takes you where you actually need to be. It's this whole thing, you've got to keep knocking on doors, you know, and they're energetic, they're symbolic, but also you've got to trust. The other thing I want to say about the energy of trust at the moment is that I'm trying to say this in a general way for everybody. Let me just have a glug of water. Do you like my mug? Do you know the Mr. Men? I love the Mr. Men. We've got Little Miss Shy and Little Miss Sunshine. Anyway, that's a distraction, sorry. Trust, what do I want to say? I'll have to say something personal here because it's the only way I can illustrate it. I'm in a fairly challenging situation in my own life at the moment. It's difficult. And it'd be really easy for me to think, oh, you know, I just don't know what to do. There is no way out. You know, go into a lower vibrational mode. But even though there are times I'm feeling that, I have never felt also such a huge surge of hope and knowingness that somehow it's all going to be okay. Whatever that means, okay? Doesn't mean towers can't fall and things can't end and all the rest of it, but I'm talking more longer term. I'm feeling a sense of real hope. And I think I'm feeling that because I trust Spirit. I trust Metatron. I trust the angels. I trust myself. I trust myself unconditionally, and you should trust yourselves unconditionally to be able to take yourself from a place of difficulty to a place of beauty. And that's going to mean different things to different people out there. But I'm saying that because I always want you to know I'm going through this path with you. So even though things are difficult at the moment for many of us, not just for me, I also have never felt so much hope. And that almost feels like, well, how can you have those two emotions and how can they go together? But somehow they do. And I think trust is the thing that enables you to be able to have both energies going at the same time. Difficulty, challenge, what am I going to do? With, wow, look at this, what's coming in, you know? And the thing in the middle is trust. Right, let's pull some cards now from my second deck, which is the Sacred Rebels deck by Alana Fairchild. Haven't used these for a while. Let's give them a shuffle. I don't know whether I'm going to do 3 or 1. Let's just see what the first card is that comes out. So, Metatron. What is the card here that we need? What's the message that we need? Going into Christmas week and New Year. I've had this one before. She feels and she knows. Now, over and above anything that it may say in the official, you know, book of what this means, what was I just sharing with you? What was I just sharing with you? I was sharing with you that I'm feeling something, but I know something. And that, I know, is resonating with a lot of you. I'm pretty sure this also relates to, it's the energy of 22. So we've got the solstice energy coming in here as well. But I'm also feeling it links into the divine feminine. You know, can't get away from the divine feminine who is rising. Peacock feather there in her hair. Let's read what it says. She feels and she knows. Card number 22. Right, I'm going to read this. An illumination is erupting from within you as a vision that is bringing what was once obscured into clarity. This is not likely to happen as a blinding, shocking insight, but as a more softer, gentle knowing. It is like knowing something without understanding exactly when or how you came to know it. This insight will assist you and you are asked to honour it. You will know which insight is at the right time. Your heart will tell you. You are therefore being asked to rely upon the clarity that is coming to you now or has just recently come. Gently but firmly from that place of knowing, intend to act and take your next steps forward. It says this oracle comes to you with guidance, particularly about long-range or long-term developments. Something that is far bigger than the immediate situation, issue or moment is of importance, although you will only have a dim sense of that possibility at best. The situation you find yourself in right now may not be one of joy, but in time you will understand more of the bigger picture. You will come to see why things are happening as they are and how you are being helped on to the next stage of your path, even though it may look like an obstacle right now. You are being asked to think in terms of long-term happiness. Sometimes this warrants change or even temporary restrictions in the short term. If you can't see how the present can possibly become what you sense the future to be, this message is especially relevant. Through the natural process of transformation, great leaps are indeed possible. It is what I was just saying to you, when I was talking about challenge and then this happiness. In a way, this feels like present moment. This feels like future. The thing in the middle that gets you there is trust. But they're not like, they're not like really far apart. They're actually quite close. I think a lot of us are quite close to breakthrough, okay? We're quite close to breakthrough in our life. Whatever that means to you, it's going to be different for everybody. I keep saying we're in transition time because we're in transition time. And transition time is uncomfortable, it's unsettling. But keep focused on this. Keep focused on that hope, that joy, that happiness that you know is coming in. I can sense it, I can taste it. I know it's real. I know it's as real as this other quality that is here, okay? And it's about learning to move from one to the other, but you can't do it via control. You can only do it by surrendering and trusting and being fluid, okay? Let's have one more card that goes with that one. Okay, so she feels and she knows what goes with that Metatron. Oh, I love it. I love it. Look at it. Can you see what it says? Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Actually, let me put the card up so you can see it. You see that lady's face? What is it? She's surrounded by the elements. She's surrounded by animals. She's surrounded by colour. Trust yourself. Why don't you trust yourself? Who made you feel that you couldn't trust yourself? That's just a question mark, something for you to ponder. It's beautiful. Trust yourself. I don't need to say anything else about that. Let's have one more, because I did say I was going to pick 6, didn't I? Final card, please. Archangel Metatron. Final card. Sorry, I'm laughing, but it's just I love it when it. I don't know. I'll never stop being amazed by spirit. That's Bella. That's my dog. Card number 11, Metatron's number. What does it say? It says diving for light. Diving for light. I love that. Okay. So in spite of anything that's going on around you this Christmas time, whatever the imperfections are, okay, whatever the feelings of loss are, whatever the feelings of disappointment are, whatever the feelings of lack are, whatever is imperfect in your life, and you're trying to go through this happy, jolly time, Dive for the light. Dive for the light. And where does the light reside within you? It resides within your heart. It's always there within your heart. One thing I did want to say, those of you that did the Chambers meditation with me, Chambers of the Heart, my last video, what came to me after I did that was, I don't quite know who was saying it because there were so many different ascended masters. I suspect it was Metatron because he's my main guide. But he was talking about the fact that everybody has different, I'm not talking about physical chambers here, I'm talking about energetic chambers within the heart. There is a different number of chambers within your heart, and it goes up via master level steps, okay? Not master level, master number steps. So I was shown 11 chambers in the heart, 22 chambers in the heart, 33 chambers in the heart, 44 chambers in the heart, all the way up to, I'm not actually being shown the final number, but it's over 100. And it will keep on increasing. But the number of chambers within your heart that you have are relating to how open how much you have been able to open your heart to allow in all the different master energies that want to be there. So it's a process of continuing development, because even if you have 11 to start with, you can go on and create 22 or 33. So it's an ever unfolding, beautiful flower, ever unfolding chambers. But the light, diving for the light, is what we're asked to do in the lead up to Christmas and New Year. Whatever is going on in our personal life, whatever is going on in the collective, you dive for the light. And you are assured by Metatron, Energy 11, it will always be there for you. Okay, I think that's all I want to say, other than have a happy Christmas, okay? Reset those expectations. Do something different if you can, even if it's a little thing. Break the rules, but above all, have fun, whatever you're doing, whoever you are with, and remember that spirit of Christmas, it's within you, it's not external. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for journeying with me through 2017. I look forward to more work and much more to come in 2018. Love you all very much. Bye-bye.